What is going on, everyone? Tenha here, and today in this video we're going to talk about something that is very important for Genshin players. Now, if you're active on social media, you're probably well aware of what is going on in Genshin. TLDR, Chinese community is mad about how Genshin Impact is treating us. This is where everyone got upset, and if you do not remember, this is the part where it started all the problems. So, before this, they said that they're gonna give us 10 summons, and then after they said to thank everyone for their support and company over the past year, they're giving us 3 summons. Depending on how you word your sentences, it can feel very different. So instead of Genshin Impact saying that they're so thankful for everyone who supported their company for past year, it would have been nicer if they didn't mention that and just give us 3 fates later on or something like that. I don't know, it's just my take. So after 4.4 livestream has ended, Genshin's Douyin account has dropped from 9.3 million to 8.7 million. People are taking a step further, unfollow company who collab with Genshin, including KFC, Pizza Hut, and Hey. I don't know what to say about that. If you have something to say about Genshin Impact, I think as a CEO of Hoyoverse, if that starts to happen, then they would probably be forced to put out the fire. So yes, I think this is a smart move, but at the same time, I think it's a little too toxic. And on Bilibili, the Chinese YouTube site, people are review bombing Genshin Impact. Now they have 5.9 stars on a game like this. So with this, now you know what actually is happening in Chinese community. Honestly though, I still think that Genshin Impact was so stupid for saying something like, "We are so grateful for those people who had been supporting the game and company for past year. We're giving us 3 pulls." Why did you have to say that? Just include it in the mail or something like that. Just give it to us for free, out of nowhere. People would have been grateful if you didn't say anything like that. I remember at the times when Epic 7 was on fire, I was helping the global community to better understand what is actually happening because the Western culture did not understand why Korean players were mad. Just like that, it seemed like not a lot of English speakers were understanding what was happening, and they had a different atmosphere. Chinese community was on fire and Western community was like, yeah, that's Genshin for us. You know, they didn't give us a lot of things for the anniversary rewards. So I can only imagine what is actually happening in China right now. Of course, I don't speak their language, and even if I use a translator, I wouldn't understand what they're saying 100%. But a lot of the people are disappointed, and mainly because Hoyoverse has 2 games. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and the reward difference is like night and day. Recently, for winning awards, Honkai Star Rail has given us a 5-star banner character. To compare that reward from Honkai Star Rail to Genshin Impact, it's like we're getting us the Cloud Retainer for free. And on top of that, every patch they had given us 10 summons. And for the anniversary, they're giving us 20 summons. So you can kind of feel the different atmosphere between the 2 games, right? And of course, Genshin Impact is more famous and they probably make more money compared to Honkai Star Rail because of the way you play the game. Some people just don't like turn-based games. And they were usually considered as the minor genre compared to an open world role-playing games like Genshin Impact. So let me try to understand the situation as somebody who has worked in a big company. One of the reasons why 2 games have different rewards is because they have different teams. There's going to be a team that takes care of Genshin Impact, and there's going to be another team that takes care of Honkai Star Rail. And they cannot share the leaders. And the only person who can probably change the leaders' decisions is probably going to be Dawei. As a content creator, I have never seen a game that had their CEO show up in their live streams, talk about the games as if they played a game. That just means a lot to me. As a player, it just feels like, yo, the CEO plays the game and they care about it. So it just feels like we're already valued by that. But then again, if you think I'm a sellout for Hoyoverse games, absolutely not. If you have tuned into my stream, I always try to be as reasonable as possible, and I was emphasizing the fact that people who watch me has to have their own opinion, because this whole situation is all about politics. You probably have seen some different reactions from different content creators, different regions, and so on. As a content creator, and as somebody who has worked at a big company, I can try to understand what is happening, once again, as maybe somebody who runs a company. So everything has to be written as numbers. They probably look at how many views that they get in the Genshin category in YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Bilibili even. For those of you guys who doesn't know, Bilibili is a Chinese YouTube. So they probably look at those, they look at the trendings, and when it comes to giving out rewards, they would probably look at how many people are spending money in game and how much money they will be losing by giving out 3 extra wishes. Not only that, but also Genshin had been doing a lot of things outside of just, you know, giving out rewards. They have participated in anime conventions. They have hired cosplayers so that the people who visits their booth will have a very nice experience and have good memory. So they had been spending a lot of money in different ways. Compared to the game that I used to play, it's huge, to be honest. When I was playing that shitty game, I was always complaining about how the game doesn't really spend their money to promote their game or to give some nice experience and memories for the player bases, the merches and everything. So in my criteria, Genshin was doing already great. But the problem is, Genshin Impact is famous worldwide, so all those festivals, those conventions, concerts, collabs, and everything needs to be spread out. If Chinese players thought Genshin Impact was doing a lot of those festivals mostly outside of China, then they would probably feel like they were neglected, right? And of course, without the supports that you have been getting from China alone, then we might not even have the current Hoyoverse we have right now, right? So although for those of you guys who think this is too much, this is basically their only way to get their voice heard. So I hope you guys don't say too much bad things about what is happening in China. There were already some problems that we had in Genshin Impact already. For example, Genshin used to be a great game. They gave us a lot of things to do. But during the pandemics, we needed more things to do, and then we were complaining how there's nothing to do. Now that we have to go outside and work, go to school, and do our stuff, I feel like Genshin Impact is kind of too overwhelming when it comes to storytelling, and the length of the event quests here and there is just too much. Even as a content creator, to make a living off of it, I need more time. I can't spend 8 hours doing Aranara quest. And farming for artifacts, it's not so fun. I farmed for Navia ever since she was introduced to the game, and I still don't have a single piece that I think is good for Navia. So I have to use the ones that I have farmed in the past. And I think it is time for Genshin Impact to improve that. Give us a currency that we can use to craft something that we want. At least let us choose the main stats. Or even the sub stats, that would be really nice, but I'm not really asking for that much. Because at the end of the day, we come home from work, school, and we're trying to play a game to let go of our stress. And we get stressed out even more from those stuff. Although I'm very grateful for what they have been doing for the game, making animations, holding events here and there, worldwide, I think they have done enough. However, it's the way they deliver it. As a content creator, it's always better for me to have happier audiences, happier players that plays Genshin Impact. And I hope everything is all going good. And if extra summons would make you guys happy, I hope Hoyoverse would give us extra summons to make us feel more valued. Because that's what gets everyone to play the game. It's been a while since Genshin Impact was released. A lot of the game companies has looked up to Genshin Impact, and a lot of them has changed their business model because a lot of the gacha games that were out there that had PvP was very, very toxic. It costed more than $500 to pull for one character, and when the game has PvP, we were forced to pull for it, or else we would be falling off, or we would be very salty for at least a year until the character gets rerun, if that character is broken by any chance. And a lot of the games came out that tried to be the next Genshin, but they all have failed. I feel like all of the issues will go away as Genshin Impact faces a new competitor. So this year, I'm looking forward to check out different games here and there to see if we can find some games that is worthy to play. There's gonna be Tekken 8, there's gonna be Withering Waves, there is Zelda Pokemon game that is happening right now, the Power World, and I'm planning to check all those out. So, do you think all the things that are happening in Chinese community too much, or do you think it's justified? Let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.